Hello, everybody. I'm going to speak Russian today so that everyone can understand us. Many more lovers of mixed martial arts can understand us, as well as our neighbors. Today, I present to you the press conference that is dedicated to the November 19 tournament Eagles 3, which everyone is waiting with. Can't wait to happen. I'm confident that the tournament is going to be very good, with really good fights. Today and now, I'd like to invite here two fighters who are participating in the semi-final round in the middleweight category. It so happens that we have four of the best fighters in the middleweight category, which is why we have a team of improvised four fighters. On November 19, we will have the final fights, whereas the final fight is going to take place on February 17th of 2017. In order to find the pairs, I am inviting two fighters, Vasily Botnaru and Andrei Чеботару. I'm also inviting the other two fighters in this weight category. This is Sergei Barbaroshia and Luka Poklit. Now, in front of you, there will be a draw. The guys are going to determine their opponent themselves. The first pair is Andrei Чеботару and Sergei Barbaroshia. The second pair is made of Vasily Botnaru and Luka Poklit. The first part is now over. We now know the pairs of the semi-final fights in middleweight category. The fight for the final fight will take place in February 17, 2017, with Eagles 4. Now I would like to say a couple of words about the event. The main fight of the Eagles 3 tournament of November 19, 2016. This is the fight of two champions. It's a fight of two of the best fighters in this category today. And I would like to invite Andrei Barbaroshia His opponent is known to you, Grigory Pamphili. The fighters are here. These are the main fighters who will conduct the best fights at the Eagles 3 fighting tournament, fighting championship on November 19, 2016, which will take place in Chisinau, the capital of Moldova. Now, according to tradition, and this is why we're here, please ask your questions. Mr. Damir, first of all, congratulations for organizing such galas here in Chisinau. And I'd like to ask you, why did you choose the lightweight category for this championship? Thank you for your question. The lightweight category is a really interesting one, and our team has considered and has decided that within it we will have the first title fight. In this category there's very many world stars. There have been very interesting fights. McGregor has also participated and will be participating in this category, so this is why we wanted to start with this category, the lightweight category. And we have really two of the best fighters in this category, so this fight is expected by very many lovers of mixed martial arts. So on November 19th we will have something really special and really interesting. Mr. Damir, when will we be able to see fights among women? Thank you for your question. We all know that we also have another promotion. It's very interesting and world famous. We've begun to promote women's fights in that promotion. It's quite difficult with women in mixed martial arts in Moldova. There are many women fighters generally. But we still have a good girl is Stitch, Alexandra Stitch Albot, a Moldovan fighter who is on contract with a big promotion. And we hope that in the near future we will see her in Chisinau at our Eagles tournament. And I hope that women fighters will show up and they will want to prove themselves in MMA tournaments. I'd like to ask a question to Andrei Barbarossa. Andrei, please tell us, is your opponent the most serious opponent for you? Could you clarify, you mean in my career? No, do you consider Pamphili a serious opponent for you? It won't be correct if I underestimate my opponent, but I think it's so-so, middle level. I have a question for Vasily Botnaru. Vasily, can you address a few questions to your opponent? Yes, I'd like to wish him luck, but it's not going to help him. A question for Mr. Damir. What big names from the MMA world do you plan to invite in Chisinau? Everyone knows that we're
Дружим со
friends
всеми
with
звездами,
all of
бывшими,
the
настоящими.
stars, current
Наверное,
and
среди очень многих и будущие
past
мировые
ones.
звезды.
I hope that we have among us many
У нас
future
в
stars,
Женеве уже побывали,
but
можно сказать, звезды ММА.
many
такие как,
world MMA stars have already
российский
been
боец,
in Moldova,
российский боец,
like a Russian fighter,
Харитонов,
Sergei
наш друг,
Kharitonov, our friend.
обещал к нам в гости приехать Федор Емельяненко, и он
Fyodor
сдержит свое обещание.
Emelianenko promised to
Настоящий
come visit us, and he will
мужчина. В этом
definitely
могу
keep his
сказать,
promise.
что это же обещание
The same
дал и Макгрегор.
promise was made by
Насколько он
McGregor.
сдержит это обещание. Думаю, что
Hopefully,
Федор
he will be
обязательно
able
Макгрегор
to
посмотрит. Мы
keep
сделаем
his
всё
promise as
возможное,
well.
чтобы и один, и второй,
We will
и
do everything we
другие
can that
побывали,
one and the other and many other stars can come and support us here in Chisinau, at least with their presence. And I think and I'm sure that they will come.
Вопрос за Григорием Пафилий. Вот Андрей Барбароши сказал свое мнение про вас.
A question for Pamphili. Your opponent has already mentioned his opinion about you. What do you think about him? I'm much more powerful than he thinks. I'm much stronger than he thinks. I have a question for Sergiu Barbarossa. Sergiu, I've noticed that you are currently also a coach. Do you think that's going to be an impediment for you in case that you will lose? How will this reflect upon your disciples? It's an interesting question. I don't think this will affect my disciples at all, because I try to create them as personalities, and I want them to reach levels much higher than myself. And regardless of the result, we will keep going and keep growing. A question for Luka Poklit. What do you think about your opponent? Please tell us. I want to say about my adversary that he has a strong character, but I am sure that I will obtain the belt. I have another question for Andrei Barbarossa. Andrei, do you think you're going to knock out your opponent? I'm sure that you're going to win regardless. Is it going to be a knockout? Too many questions around here. Thank you for your question. I don't want to offend anyone, of course, but I'd like to abstain from such a provocative question, even though, because I'm a more modest fighter, more modest as a person, but it's definitely going to happen. I'm going to knock him out. Andrei Chubotaro, can you tell your opponent a couple of words? Address him. Serежа, Sergiu is a very powerful and experienced fighter, but on November 19th, youth will win. A question for Andrei Barbarossa. Have you thought about a category higher than the middleweight? Not yet. I haven't thought about that. I'd rather fight in the 66 kilogram category. If there will be proposals in a different category, we'll see.
Я
But
комфортно себя чувствую.
I feel much more comfortable in the 66 kilogram category and the 70 kilogram category.
Опыт успокаивает.
My experience is making me more comfortable.
Андрей, nu crezi că este un credit foarte mare
Andrei,
de către organizatori
don't you think
turneului posibilitatea de a lupta pentru centură?
don't you think it's a big credit on behalf of the organizers the ability to participate in the title fight, to fight for the belt? Yes, I'm very grateful to the organizers for
По propunere, cred că
getting such a proposal.
aș spune că mă voi stărui să
I will do my best to
întăresc
meet these high expectations of me,
speranțele, adică
and I have
că
high
nu am fost
hopes
pus în zadar ca luptătorul
that,
care va lupta pentru centură.
that I won't disappoint them as the fighter who will fight for the belt.
Вопрос Чеботару. Есть ли у вас место ругательства во время
For Chubotaro, a question.
Ну, место
Do you use swear words when you fight? I don't think so. Maybe releasing of energy more than anything, but not really swear words, because that's a disrespect, showing disrespect to your opponent. Plus, I don't have this, I don't do this usually. I come out to fight and respect my opponent and to demonstrate my abilities to fight and not to use swear words.
Вопрос Сергея Барбароши.
A question for Sergei Barbaroshi.
Можно ли сказать, что предстоящий бой для тебя самый ответственный?
Can we say that this coming fight is your most responsible one? I've had many responsible fights in the past, and each fight is really important for me. It doesn't matter if my opponent is strong or weak, at home or abroad. They're all really important. This fight is very important for me because it's part of the quarterfinals, and I want to do this for myself, for my club, and for my family.
Вопрос Андрею Чеботару. Андрей, ты тренировался раньше в Молдове, сейчас в России.
Andrei Chubotaro, you've trained in Moldova and in Russia. Can you please compare your experience here and in Russia, and how will this affect your fight? There's a very good school in Moldova, but a pure MMA, unfortunately, a pure MMA school is unfortunately not developed here in Moldova yet. This is the case in Moscow. Here in Moldova I did grow my level, but now I've moved to Moscow in order to be able to exchange experience with other guys and be able to grow better going forward. I'd like to make a correction. He said that there are no MMA schools in Moldova, and he's wrong. There is the MMA school with a really powerful coach and powerful fighters, so he's definitely wrong. Perhaps I'm wrong, because I have never been there yet, but I will definitely come and visit. I have a question for you, Mr. Damir. Regarding inviting MMA stars to the Eagles tournament, I would love to be able to see the really powerful fighter Alexander Shlemenko. Can we organize that?
Ничего невозможного нет.
Nothing is
Я
impossible.
убедился из практики своей жизни.
I have convinced myself of that from my life experience.
В
Because
2009 году, когда мы
if in 2009, when
создали и
we had
зарегистрировали ассоциацию
created and
FIA,
registered the FIA
тогда никто не
association,
верил, и я на 50%
back then nobody really believed that
получится.
it's going to happen and it will be a success. But if someone had told me back then that in 2014 or 2015 your project will be shown on the world-famous channel Eurosport, then I would have never believed them. But this happened, and we've been able to grow to very high levels, and we will do everything possible to invite really famous people to come visit us. Some of them will even come to fight in our tournaments. And many great things are expected and will happen in our project, for sure. Two questions for Vasily Botnaru. The first question, Vasily, at the last gala, you represented the Lion Club, and now you represent the Berkut Club. Why have you made this choice? And the second question, you were team members with Andrei Chubotaru. Is this a plus for you, or will it be a minus for you in case you both accede to the next phase? The first question, at Lions, there was a small problem with the trainer, with the coach, so I moved to Berkut. Regarding Andrei Chubotaru, we've trained together, we're friends. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't want to think about it ahead of time. I have a question for Mr. Damir. Besides Eagles, will there be other tournaments? We also would like to fight. Of course, these are for the stars, but what about us? What are we supposed to do? You should be training. Yes, but we would also like to show ourselves and prove ourselves. We plan on organizing tournaments for non-professional classes who just don't want to move to the professional level because they really love MMA, but they don't want to move to a professional class. But starting with the next year, maybe even sooner, we will start to organize a monthly tournament for non-professional and then semi-professional fighters, so that more young people can go through this process and train, because these guys will form our future. We're in such a situation with the Association for Non-Professional K1 Federation, in cooperation with which we're working to grow the next generation of fighters. We'll do the same thing with MMA, because it has a lot of perspective in the future, it has a lot of popularity in the future, and we don't want to slow down. We want to move forward and succeed. A question for Luka Poklit. Will you feel sorry for your opponent if he loses? Oh, such sad questions. What he thinks, will he be sorry for them? I will win him for sure, without any regret, and I will not be sorry at all. Question for Mr. Damir. These are the best fighters in middleweight category in Moldova. But Vlad Popovsky is missing from this setup. Why is that? That's a very interesting question. I will tell you this. I can give the opportunity to anyone, but everyone can
ответственность или нет.
make the decision on of whether to take on that opportunity or not. But Popovsky is now in the U.S.
Хочет в большие,
He is training. He wants to
промоушены.
push and become
Но
part
как
of
у него
the
получится, это
world-class
жизнь
promotions.
покажет. Но я думаю,
How he will
что
succeed, we will
эта
see,
семерка,
and the
это
time will
четверка
show.
77,
This
реально покажет
semi-final in middleweight
лучшего бойца на сегодняшний день.
class will
И мы
definitely
увидим
show the best fighter in this class.
чемпионский пояс
And next year in February, we'll
на
see
кого-то из этих лучших ребят.
the belt,
Спасибо.
the champion belt on one of these guys, for sure.
Сергей Барбарошев.
A question for Sergei Barbaroshi. Can you address your opponent? I wish him good luck, no traumas before and after the fight,
Хочу, чтобы мы показали очень красивый
and
бой.
I'd like us to show a really beautiful fight. Grigori, at the last Eagles Fighting Championship, you had a loss. Are you now ready for the decisive fight? Yes, I'm ready. I have 1 month and a half to prepare, and I will be in the best form of my life. And can you also tell us what is your attitude towards your opponent, Andrei Barbaroshi? It's simple. This guy wants to be beat up and quite a lot, so that next time he doesn't want to fight with me anymore.
Вопросы? Пожелания?
Any more questions or wishes? I'd like to wish Sergio and Andrei Barbaroshi to win. They deserve to win. I know them well. They deserve it.
Все, если нет вопросов,
If there are no more
на
questions,
этом эту часть мы заканчиваем.
we will
и
finish
переходим ко второй.
this portion of our press conference and move to the next one.
Наших бойцов. Спасибо.
The
Итак,
Meeting. meeting, the site meeting of the two fighters. Vasily Botnaro and Luka Paklit.
Сергей Барбароши и Андрей Чеботаров.
Sergei Barbaroshi and Andrei Jopotaro.
Так, для общей фотосессии Лука Паклит и
For the general
да-да,
photo,
Василий Бotnaro.
Luka Paklit and Vasily Botnaro, please join us.
Главный мейн-ивент вечера Андрей Барбароши
The main
и
event
Григорий Панфили.
of the evening, Andrei Barbaroshi and Grigory Pamfili.